Hi again, everybody, and welcome to the Chair NFL 19 season preview. Great 2019. Good lord. What happened? Anyway, and special edition of the Chair here. Gonna preview the always interesting, always rugged and rough, always controversial NFC East. And we got some stories here that I will make you think twice, will make you think, will make you suffer if you're one of these teams, fans of these teams, or maybe make you hopeful. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not, depending on who you root for. At any rate, we have Philadelphia. Let's start off with them. They, let's just say, got lucky with the Cody Parkey missed field goal, and they went to LA and lost to the Rams. But I'm sorry, they lost to the Rams. They lost to the Eagles. Lost to the Saints in the playoffs. This team, it ran on Nick Foles. Nick Foles is now with Jacksonville. So now, with Carson Wentz being at the helm, he is gonna be the focal point. He will try to bounce back from injuries. He will try to play a whole season. He'll try to lead the Eagles. He'll try to be more careful running. He'll try to be using his targets really, I guess, more than he did in the past. He's one of those quarterbacks where he's got to have his legs, but he's got to be smart. And I think one interesting thing, as we always looked at his backups in Carson Wentz's couple of years in the league, now his third, Foles isn't there. So Josh McCown, who unretired after being let go last year, he is now backing up uh, Carson Wentz in Philadelphia. Uh, it's pretty cool to have Josh McCown back, and he's been in the league a long time. He's been in backup roles. He's been in starting roles. He's been in bad situations, pretty much all his career. And I'm not hoping for a Carson Wentz injury, anything like that. But wouldn't it be something if Josh McCown has to come in to save the Philadelphia Eagles? That would be something. The running backs, well, let's just say they have a smorgasbord of running backs. They somehow got Jordan Howard from the um, Chicago Bears, who for some reason traded him away. Those have Smallwood, they have Darren Sproles, and for Sproles, it would seem like this was his last season, and he's had to come back from injuries, but he's one of those running backs and those players you'll remember because he's come up in clutch situations with San Diego, New Orleans. He also had some good years there with Philadelphia, but he might be coming to an end, and it was fun having him, and he'll try to produce any way he can with the Eagles this season. They also have Clement, they have Humphrey, they have rookie JJ, they have a lot of different running backs that they can use and go out and mix and match, and I guess that's a good thing knowing how running backs go. There's a lot of running backs who will go for a good 4 or 5 weeks and then start to slow down, get banged up, and then you need someone to go back in there. And for Philadelphia, they're going to be running and passing, but with all the weapons that the Eagles have, let's go. Not JJ, I'm sorry. So Clement, Smallwood, Howard, Sproles, and Humphrey. The receiving core is where I have JJ. And that's JJ Arcia Whiteside. Now, this guy I followed in the Pac-12. I know he was drafted pretty late too. Uh, this dude was making noise in the Pac-12. This dude catching a lot of balls. Uh, he always beat my Trojans. Uh, San Diego State, he had a great game against one of those um, openers. He's a rookie, but I am very high on him. He's a threat that will be tested in the league and just has to spring open and he has to get touches. Now, one of the cool things I've seen in the offseason is Deshaun Jackson going back to the Philadelphia Eagles. I would have never thought that would happen, but I guess things are okay now. And excuse me, Deshaun from Long Beach Poly still playing. He had a couple of great games last year with Tampa Bay, and then I guess just fell flat, kind of like his quarterback did in Tampa, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Um, who got the starting job in Miami over Drew. I almost said Drew Rosenhaus, but Josh Rosen. That should be interesting to see with Fitzpatrick in Miami. Anyway, Deshaun Jackson back with the Eagles, and they also have Ashawn Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar. Ashawn and Aguilar, they're good when they're good, but they're bad when they're bad, meaning that they have a lot of drop passes. They have a lot of big chance plays that go around. But also they can do the routine catches. They can also do what they need to do. So if they get that shirt up, they can have one of the best receiving cores in the league, in my opinion. Maybe not the best, but should be one of the best. Tight end, they have Zach Ertz. He's amazing. He can go across the middle. He's tall. He can jump for balls. He's almost like a Travis Kelsey, but maybe a little bit slower, not as gifted, but he'll still prove you wrong over the middle. And the funny name from uh, last year, he was a rookie. Uh, Second year, man, I think at the time. But this dude was named this second tight end they have is Dallas Good Dirt, and it's just funny. His first name is Dallas, and he grew up loving the Cowboys, and he's playing with the Eagles, and he has a big role with the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's funny to see that. It's funny to see, first of all, him playing with the Eagles, but with that first name, seeing him, almost torch the Cowboys. That's funny to see. The offensive line, Jason Peters, who is the first ballot Hall of Famer in my book. He anchors the left tackle in the offensive line. The center, Kelsey, the outspoken center, he's awesome. Lane Johnson is still there. He's still amazing. Steve Wisniewski on the offensive line as well. He'll be something to look forward to. That whole offensive line is solid. And I think the plan is to have Carson Wentz, at least in my opinion, I'd have Carson Wentz being able to stay in the pocket more, not having to use his legs as much. And I think that would be something. The defense, Marlon Jackson, he's been amazing. Vinny Curry, Fletcher Cox, he's the anchor of that defensive line for Philadelphia. The linebackers, Brandon Graham from Michigan, he's been awesome as well. In the playoffs last year, Graham and Cox was amazing. They're Safeties, Malcolm Jenkins, Malcolm Jenkins, excuse me. Does a lot for the community, but he's also a great veteran on the field. So he should be looked at and one of the good ones in the league. Jenkins is. They have also Sandero from the Vikings. He went to the Eagles, and that'd be another piece the defense has for the Eagles. And Kenneth Darby, he's their best corner for Philadelphia. So their defense is solid, their offense is solid. So they should be one of the top teams in the NFC if things go right. Now, this story all year long has been not excruciating for me because I don't watch ESPN all that much. I don't care. I don't over publicize things. I don't care. But with Dallas and Jerry Jones and Ezekiel Elliott, the holdouts that he has with the Cowboys, it's just becoming a lot. I think it's in people's minds, it's in the Cowboys fans' minds, but it might be finally over. They might get a deal done before the season starts. They start, of course, with the New York Giants on Sunday coming up, and Elliott, I don't know. I think he's been working out in all places. He was in Cabo, but they say he's been working out with the training staff that he has and his workout people. So they say he even lost 15 to 20 pounds. So it'll be interesting to see if that makes him faster, more elusive. Still has the muscle, still has the power. Uh, it's just is the timing there? Is he in sync with the team? And since he already knows the scheme, can he just head right back into things, to the thick of things with the Cowboys? And we'll see what happens. Maybe he was just lazy and he figured, okay, I don't want to do. Excuse me, I've been up since 6 a.m. I'm doing this night before Labor Day. Uh, in my opinion, these holdouts happen in training camp because the individual that's holding out doesn't want to train, doesn't want to be in camp, doesn't want to go through all that. And they can do it maybe once and twice in their careers as they're trying to get big money. And for a running back, it's one time. And Elliott has to do it now. And supposedly the deal will get done before, like I said, before the season begins. Now, Dak Prescott, the quarterback for the Cowboys, he's garnering, of course, money as well as he's wanting a contract extension. He wants to be paid $40 million, which is crazy to me, a year. I don't really see that happening. I don't think he's proven his worth. I think he's proven that he should be a starter with the Cowboys, but he's got to prove that he has to, in order to prove it, he has to win playoff games. He has to win big games. He has to improve better on offense. He has to be a better decision maker. And it's amazing whoever told Dak Prescott, probably his agent, that he wants $40 million. That he knows Jerry Jones has the money and all that. So I know that the way things are now with the players and the owners and with coaching staffs, that hey, we know there's money coming out. We know the Cowboys are worth however much they are. Some of that has to more has to come to us. And so that's that. So if we go to Ezekiel Elliott's backup, which would be the starter now, you have Alfred Morris, who's been a solid backup wherever he's been, but they need Elliott. They need hands down. They gotta have Ezekiel Elliott out there. They gotta have him in order for the whole thing to work. They have Olawale, who was the former tailback of or fullback of the Raiders. He's sneaky fast. He really is. He's really good, and they have him on some plays running out there and picking up clutch first downs. I kid you not. The receiving core, another Cowboy that wants to get paid. So think about it. That's three on the offense. And they're trying to be the triplets, I guess. Amari Cooper for Raider was traded over. He was traded because Raiders didn't want to pay him, and then he dropped a lot of passes. And the Cowboys got him, and he was pretty good for them last year. He was one of the reasons why they made the playoffs, and he made clutch catches against Philadelphia. He had a game to remember, and he's also looking for that money. Now, Randall Cobb is on the receiving core as well. He's replacing Cole Beasley in the slot. He's a little older, a little more banged up, but he's looking to be, I guess, what he used to be. And that was a while back, though, with the Green Bay. Hopefully he can find the old touch again, let's just say. Offensive line, Tyron Smith from USC. Great left tackle. He's one guy that you fear if you go against him. Almost like a Larry Allen, if you remember him with the Cowboys. You fear both of those guys if you have to face them. And Doug Frederick, Zach Martin, Randall Collins is there as well. They have the Great Wall of Dallas Part 2, if all are healthy and ready to go. Now, I did this out of order just because I wanted to keep it for last for the Dallas offense. And that's Jason Witten, who, to many, didn't do a great job at Monday Night Football. And I saw that too. I didn't really listen to him. But he went back to the Cowboys after a year off, and in good shape, making one-hand catches in the preseason. Knows the offense, and hoping to be Dak's safety blanket again. It's one of the spur of the moment surprising things of the offseason, as there's been many in the NFL. But this was up there with Luck's retirement and a few other things with holdouts. Good luck with it, Jason, and hopefully it's just like riding a bike again, where you're just getting on and then going. That's what it could be for the Cowboys. And they have one of the greatest. They have one of the great defenses in the league, if you're not counting the secondary, which is pretty young. Taco Charlton, he's one of the defensive line. Robert Quinn, who will serve a suspension, but he will be back with the Cowboys. He's trying to get back to the form in which he was with the St. Louis and LA Rams, and he did a pretty good job with the Rams. He's one of their focal points until he got hurt, and then he bounced around, and now he's with the Cowboys. Now they have a tremendous defense. Vander Beach there, a couple of other guys making things happen. Pretty young too, but once you become a cowboy, everybody knows your name. So I'll learn them and make plays, and you'll get to know them as well. So that's Dallas there. They're looking for revenge. They're looking to go back to the playoffs and avenging that Ram loss at the Coliseum. See what happens. Okay, the third team in the division I have is New York Giants, who play in New Jersey. So, with the Giants, they went out in the draft, surprised a lot of people, not drafting Haskins. Haskins ended up being drafted by Washington, so we'll talk about him after this. But they ended up drafting Daniel Jones, who looks just like Eli. But in the preseason, Daniel Jones really showed that he could take over for Eli right away. But Eli has a starting job until it's taken away from him. I think he knows that. But just knowing that Daniel Jones is right there in the taking, that's a little endearing and fearing. Let's just say. So Eli's gonna have to make a miracle happen, man. It's gonna have to be something because Daniel Jones is right there in the waiting to take over, and I see it happening. Maybe by like week 6, I see Eli being benched and Daniel Jones coming on in, and they won't be in the playoffs or anything, but they'll probably do a little better and win more games than they should. But we'll see. For running backs, they have Paul Perkins, but the stud and the starter is Saquon Barkley, who had a great rookie year last year. He is becoming one of those fantasy studs again. That there was a reason he was drafted so high out of Penn State. There was a reason why he fit in right away, and he's just awesome. Saquon Barkley, if nothing on the Giants, watch for his runs like last year. He, like I said last year on one of these shows, or maybe in my head or just somewhere, he's the reason why the Giants will win more games than they should. He will win games by himself. And that's what happened last year with Saquon Barkley. I expect the same. Receiving core, Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard. They have a few banged up receivers as well. Golden Tate will serve a suspension, but he'll be back. Shepard will be often injured, but he'll be there. Tight end is Evan Ingram. He is honestly becoming one of the most slept-on tight ends in the game. He's a good one. He's a good one. Up front, the offensive line, Nate Solder, is there from the New England Patriots. Mike Remmers has been there. They have the daunting task of keeping Eli upright and healthy and making great decisions. But it's a tall task with all the pressure that the division is going to throw to that offensive line and the Eli and the Giants. So that'll be interesting to see. Janoris Jenkins is there on the defensive line. Algo Ogletree is there. The secondary, who they traded Odell Beckham Jr. for, is Jaleel Peppers. He's a stud, and he'll also win a few games for the Giants. And Antoine Bethea, that veteran, he's still going. They have Jenkins as well on the outside. But it'd be interesting to see the Giants without Odell Beckham Jr. So that would be interesting to see the Giants without Eli without that. I know Eli had to say something after Odell and Baker Mayfield both said something who both are on the Browns, but also said something about the Giants. Eli had to say, "Hey, I won games before Odell was there." So at least Eli is in that mode, and maybe he's in that revenge mode, and maybe there will be a uprising again of Eli, but who knows? For Washington now, the R's. Quarterbacks, they have a lot, and remember, Alex Smith got hurt last year. There's tremendous doubt that he'll play ever again. That's how bad the injury was last year against Houston. But Case Keenum got the starting job over the rookie Haskins, and Colt McCoy is also there to round out the quarterbacks. But the I guess the meat and potatoes of the Washington club is Adrian Peterson, who had a year off, and then he showed last year that he still has it, and he's not ready to retire yet, I guess. But they also have Chris Thompson, who's a great flat back who can throw to guys who can also do some things. Receiving core, Dotson, they have Paul Richardson from Seattle. Tight ends, the real veteran, Vernon Davis. I thought he was going to retire, but I guess not. The defensive core, there's not much there, other from Ryan Kerrigan, Quincy Dunbar, Josh Norman, and Rogers Cromartie, Dominic Rogers Cromartie. He's there, so there's there's some holes definitely with the Washington club, but as the division goes, I have them in last. I have the Eagles in first. With all depends on Carson Wentz. Cowboys, I have them in second, but in the wild card slot probably because if all the players are back and all of them are trying to ball out for Buddy, they should have great seasons individually. That's Dak, that's Cooper. They have Jason Witten back, so if not at first, it'll be a second. And then I had the hardest time with the third and fourth spots in the NFC East, but I think I'll go Giants third and Washington in last. I think I'll go with that. It's just the thing, when you have Saquon Barkley, I think that'll give you 2 or 3 more wins than you should. And then probably won't be enough, like I said, to make the playoffs, but he should again have a great year. There should be no sophomore slump. So it will be Fly Eagles Fly. It'll be EDP 445 YouTuber out there. He's crazy, but he's one of those people you watch on YouTube, real passionate about Philadelphia Eagles, and shout out to him and shout out what he does all the time and all his swearing and whatnot. If you watch the videos, they're pretty crazy. That's EDP 445 on YouTube, and he was also on Twitter as well, I believe. But he does his yelling here on YouTube. So that's been the NFC East. That's been the chair. And then we'll do one more of the NFC East, and we'll preview the West. And you come back from New York. And we'll see you then. This has been the chair special edition.